and the wide area network. So the difference between metropolitan area network and wide area network depends on the uh, geographical extent of the network. So pag sinabi natin metropolitan, it is mainly on city or it connects one city. While for wide area network, a good example is our internet connection, which is more on global degree or the geographical extent of the connection is global. So there are other networks that aside from these types, there are other types of network. We also have the PAN or personal area network or area network, which is limited to uh, two persons or to a limited distance only. We also have the campus area network and others. So, usually kasi dito lang sa tatlo natin inilalagay na lang. Bakit? Kasi yung campus area network can be also considered as metropolitan area network. So, pag medyo lumaki-laki na talaga siya, we can consider it already as a wide area network. Meron pa rin tinatawag na band or body area network. So, uh, but in our case, in our computer networking will concentrate on these three types of network. Okay, the local area network, which is the building blocks, it can be in a certain room. The metropolitan area network and the wide area network, which is composed of different local area networks. So for the WAN technologies or wide area network technologies, we have the following. We have the leased line, which is using the synchronous serial or with time-based po siya or may time siya. And we also have the circuit switch wherein it involves a telephone company or an ISDN or an internet service provider. So, pag lease line, usually ang gumagamit po nito ay yung mga malalaking company wherein diretso po sila from our service provider to their company. Pero tayo, usually we are in the circuit switch. We also have the frame relay, which is a synchronous serial and involved service provider. Then we also have the broadband access. Ito na po yung ating malimit na ginagamit. Yung dating circuit switch kasi, yun po yung mga dial-up. So broadband access, we have the cable, DSL, wireless wide area network. So aside from the types or the technologies, we also have the network topologies. So the network topologies have their own advantages and disadvantages depending on the application. So the first topology that we are going to have is the bus topology. So as you can see, there is a backbone wherein all computers are connected to the backbone and it is connected to or its end have its own terminator. Question: what do you think would be the advantage and disadvantage of a bus topology? Anyone? Based on the topology presented, what do you think would be its advantage or disadvantage? Okay. Alama? Let me lower my audio. Miss Alamag, what do you think would be the advantage and disadvantage? Alamag? At si Miss Alamag ay... What do you think would be the advantage or disadvantage?
Hello po, ma'am.
Ayun.
Narinig po ba?
Ganda medyo mahina. Wait lang. Yan, okay na ineng. Sige.
I think the advantage with bus topology is
Mm.
mas it is easiest to network, and also it is easy to connect or remove devices in this network. And on the other side, the contrary, the disadvantage of bus topology is I think it it would be hard to troubleshoot po individual if there's some issues individual.
Okay, so it's easy to connect, but it's hard to troubleshoot individually. Okay, let's have another. Between,
Good
between.
morning po, ma'am.
Good
I think
morning.
the advantages po of bus topology is that it is cost efficient. For of course it is, as mentioned, it is easy to install. And on the other hand, since bus topology is interconnected to each other, there will be low performance, and maybe there will be issues in terms of security. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. Let me just, okay. So, as we can see in our network topology, as mentioned earlier, it has one backbone, or it has a common backbone wherein all computers or all devices or all our network devices are connected. So one advantage is it's less expensive compared to other topology. Why? Because you'll be only be needing one backbone. So less yung wires na gagamitin natin. Disadvantage is pag nasira yung backbone natin, then everything is masisira na, or there will be no connection at all. Kasi yung backbone supports our network. So pag yung backbone talaga yung nasira, wala na po talaga tayong connection, and or wala na tayo lahat connection. Okay? Another advantage of it or disadvantage of it is the collision. So, kita nyo, since iisa lang po yung pagdadaanan ng traffic, there is a possibility of traffic pagdating sa backbone. So, kung halimbawa lahat sila nagda-download, nag-a-upload, possible po magka-collision ng data or magkaroon ng traffic or mabagal kanyang uh, yung kanyang sending ng data. But again, it depends on the application. Let's proceed to the next topology so that we can compare it later. So the next topology is our star topology. In a star topology, it has a common point, and all networks are connected, or all computers are connected in this common point. Based on this topology, or based on the figure presented, what do you think would be the advantage or disadvantage of our star topology? Who would like to volunteer? Any volunteer? Sige. Sino yun? Sorry. Joseph Casas.
Good day, ma'am. I believe that for star topology, we could observe that it's better than bus topology in the sense that the speed could be higher because there would be less traffic because of the overall system. And then it makes it more efficient in a way because there's less traffic. But assuming from the diagram and how maintenance works, I believe that the maintenance cost for this project for star topology would be high. And since there is a central device, so there will be some sort of central device dependency, and maintaining this would be more expensive in comparison to bus topology.
Okay, thank you. Another insight on what are the cons or what are the advantages and disadvantages of a star topology. Any volunteer? Any volunteer? Sige, let's call someone again. At baka nakakatulog pa. So, let's call someone again. Barlaw. Is
I
Barlaw
think
present?
that yes po. Um, I think the advantages of the star topology is it is a high performance, but the disadvantages is the risk of network failure yung since nakakonect lang po lahat ng computer sa isang hub.
English ganda, English.
Since the
Sige.
since all the devices are connected in just one hub.
Okay, thank you. So, one advantage of this one is the sharing of resources. So, for example, if you want to have a printer, then you can have one printer only for the network. Okay. Another, so sharing of resources. One disadvantage of a star topology is it is too expensive compared to other topology. Why? Because you have to have an own wire from one point to another. So imagine, let's say, we'll be having in our PEMEC or in our laboratory, we have 24 PCs. So, kung 24 pieces connected to a hub or to a certain switch, so ganun kadami din yung wire na gagamitin natin. Ma'am, sorry, nakamute ako. Kanina pa ako nag-explain. Sorry for that one. Let me just, hindi ko napansin nakamute ako. Okay, so as I was mentioning earlier, for the network topology, one advantage is sharing of resources. And one of the disadvantage is it is more expensive compared to other topologies due to the size of the wires or due to the number of wires that will be used in this topology. So again, it depends on the how you will apply or how will you use the topology. For example, we can use a bus topology for, let's say I'll be having a topology or a network for our building, the Siapa building. So it is a 5-story building, and I'm going to have per floor or network per floor. So I can use a star topology per floor, and then I can use a bus topology for the whole building, meaning I would connect all my routers or all my devices per floor in a bus topology manner, and in each floor I'll be using a star topology. So depende po kung ano yung pinaka best or sa tingin natin na applicable na topology sa isang company or isang network. Then the next is the another network topology is the extended star topology. So let me give you a good example of an extended star topology. For example, I'm going to have a network in our laboratories, in the DECE laboratories. So we actually have 5 laboratories. Let's start with ESL, PEMEC, SSL, MRL, and the ICL. So in this one, so I want to have a star topology for each laboratory. Excuse me. Then having a star topology for each laboratory, I'm going to connect these star topologies to a common switch, and that would make an extended star topology. So OSI model. So one OSI model, by the way, sino na ang nakapag-datacom dito? If I'm not mistaken, this is a combination of cohort 21 and cohort 22. So I would assume that cohort 21 have already took their data communication, right? Tama ba? Any representative of cohort 21, nakapag-datacoms na ba kayo? Yes, Rivera. Nakapag-datacoms
Ma'am,
na kayo?
most of us
Yes.
are not already take data comms because we failed LX1.
Okay. Most of you have not yet take or took your datacom, so it's okay. So so let's continue. So the OSI model. So the OSI model is Open System Interconnection Model, which describes how network systems communicate. So it is a theoretical framework for mapping the application and devices link and send data over a web connection. So this is also sometimes referred as the reference model or the OSI reference model. So this was established by the ISO. Again, uh, can anyone know what does ISO stands for? Anyone? What does ISO stands for? Sige, siguro medyo mahiyain tayo. Let's have this one. Let's not remove the name and let's continue. Tawag na pala natin si Miss Between. Sige na nga, remove na natin. Fresnido. Fresnido. What does ISO stands for?
Hello po. Meron na pong
Yes.
sound.
Yes, may sound na.
International Organization for Standardization po.
Yes, so we have the International Organization for Standardization. So wag po magkakamali ng pagbabaliktad ha, hindi po yun International Standardization Organization. So it was ISO due to its French word or French equivalent. But then again, we have for the English, it is International Organization for Standardization. So it is a seven layer, which is the sole purpose is to reduce complexity, standardize the interfaces. Kasi one of the problem before ng mga computer networking is the monopoly. Na monopolize ng ibang supplier ang isang or ng ibang vendor yung mga connections. For example, kung halimbawa ako si IBM, I will only make my ports available for IBM. Same thing that happens through Apple and Android devices. So sila na monopolize nila yung market nila before kasi yung kanilang mga ports is purely for their um, devices only. Unlike ngayon, they already allowed na magkaroon ng type C for the charging. Before kasi yung charger nila, sila lang talaga or yung kanilang devices lang ang makakagamit. So namomonopolize nila yung market na sila lang yung pwede. Okay? Then facilitates modular engineering and accelerates evolution, ensure interoperable technology, sorry for that, and simplifies teaching and learning. So the OSI layer is composed of seven layers, starting from the layer one, which is the physical, data link, network, transport, session, presentation, and the application layer. So the upper three layers are known as the application layers. So it is consists of the application layer, the presentation layer, and the session layer. So before kasi bago siya maging seven layers is uh, hati siya before. So I think it was only three layers. Then si ISO medyo tingin nila kulang. So, ang ginawa nila, mas pinaliliit nila yung mga layers para mas madaling maintindihan ni vendor or mas madaling mag-discuss or ituro. So, the three upper layers, which is the application, presentation, and session layers, is more on the network process to application, data representation, and inter-host communication. So, si application is directly the one who is directly communicating with our host or with the computer or with the user. Then we have also the transport layer. So it deals with the end-to-end connection. It handles transportation issues between hosts and ensures data transport reliability and establishes and maintains terminates virtual circuits and provides reliability through fault detection and recovery. So dito po, etong layer 4 and layer 3, ito talaga yung magiging concern natin when it comes to networking. Next is the network. So it is more on the data delivery and provides connectivity and path selection between two host systems. So it routes data packets, select best path to deliver data, and more on it prioritize data known as the quality of service. So dito natin malalaman uh, paano ba natin malalaman na dapat ay maganda or ito yung route na ite-take ni data. So, magko-compute tayo. But that is for your elective too, if I'm not mistaken. So, computation, how you would be able to have or to attain a good QoS or quality of service. Well, the data link is more concerned on access to media. So it defines how data is formatted for transmission and how access to the network is controlled. For the physical, this is more on the electrical, mechanical, procedural, and functional. So from electrical, dadalhin natin siya sa data bits. Pagdating sa data link, if reframe natin siya. Pagdating sa network, lalagyan natin siya ng address, lalagyan natin kung saan siya dadaan. Pagdating sa transport, yun ay yung delivery na mismo ng data to the very end or to the destination. Okay? So for the physical media, I think you will be having your transmission medium, if I'm not mistaken, during your third year, second semester. So for the physical media, we'll be discussing only the three media that are commonly used in networking. So we have the twisted pair. So the twisted pair, usually it is more on up to 1 gig of data transfer. So we also have the coaxial cable and we also have the fiber optics. Question, sinong nakakita na ng twisted pair? Anyone na nakakita na ng twisted pair? Anyone? Wala pa nakakakita ng twisted pair? Sige. Next meeting, remind me, I'll be showing you what a twisted pair looks like. How about coaxial cable? Anyone? Anyone na nakakita na ng coaxial cable? Sige, let me rephrase the question. Sino sa inyo ang may connection or may signal or may cable sa bahay? TV cable. Wala? Or hindi nyo ako naririnig? Yon. Yan. So, si Plata and yon. So, if you want to see what a coaxial cable looks like, tingin lang kayo sa inyong TV. So, usually, let me just check. So, usually, kung yan ay signal, ang ginagamit na lang connection from their antenna to your, yung device nila, yung box nila, is a coaxial cable. So, sa coaxial cable is composed of our insulator, then we have a braided copper, followed by, again, plastic insulation and a copper conductor. So, ito po yung nakakonect. And it is usually connected by a BNC. So, ito po yung BNC connector. So, maliit lang po siya na metal na bilog na inilalagay natin sa ating coaxial cable. Then, ang nakalabas lang po is yung copper, yung nasa center, copper ng ating coaxial cable. So, yan. Then, we have the fiber optics. So, hindi po ako makakapagdala ng coaxial cable kasi wala ata akong available na coaxial cable dito sa bahay. But I can show you a twisted pair. I'm gonna check if I still have an available fiber optics. But I think we have a fiber optics in our classroom. So, kung kayo naman ay naka-DSL, naka-Converge, naka-PLDT sa bahay ninyo, then you have your fiber optics. So, it is usually maliit lang po yan. It have a outer jacket, caviar reinforcing material, plastic shield, and a glass and fiber cladding. So, I would not suggest na i-break ninyo or putulin nyo yung mga fiber optics sa bahay para lang po makita yung kanyang loob. Kasi, we use special tool para po maikabit yung ating mga fiber optics. Unlike po dito sa ating coaxial cable, sa ating twisted pair, pwede po tayo magputol niyan. But definitely for fiber optics, hindi po tayo pwedeng magputol para lang makita yung nasa loob niya. But we'll check if I'm not mistaken, we have a fiber optic cable in our laboratory na wala siyang connector. So makikita natin siya. So connector niya is the SC connector. While for the twisted pair, by the way, we have the RJ45. So, yan po yung kinoconnect natin sa ating mga LAN port. Ang RJ45 or yung twisted pair. Okay. So for other physical media types, so we have the Ethernet backbone for our internet, and we have also wireless connection. So we have the access points, we have the routers, and so on. So, yan po, meron tayong mga tinatawag na access points. So, kung hindi pa po nakakita naman ng access points, punta lang po tayo sa school, tingala lang tayo sa kisame ng ating school. Meron po tayong makikita doon ng mga white na bilog. That is called as access points. So, iba pa po yung parang dome na parang kisses na antenna. So, usually po yung mga ganong antenna is para sa mga mobile phone or sa mobile network, or yung mga service providers such as Smart Globe para sa mga indoor antenna nun. So, usually yung ginagamit na access points po ng BSU is yung flat na bilog lamang na nakakabit sa mga ceiling ng BSU. So, pwede po kayo magtingin-tingin. If I'm not mistaken, meron po sa may cafeteria, meron din sa may tapat ng ESL. Okay. So, media comparison. So, we have the twisted pair, which is up to 1 gig po yung kanyang speed or yung kanyang bandwidth. Then, for coaxial, that is 10 to 100 Mbps. Kaya hindi po siya masyadong ginagamit na ngayon. Then, for fiber optic, we have up to 10 gigs or higher. So, kaya kung mapapansin niyo po, pag po tayo ay pag nag-a-advertise yung ating mga fiber optics such as Converge, Globe, Smart, Globe and PLDT, they are using fiber optic kasi mas malaki po yung bandwidth niya. Then, wireless LAN is up to 54 Mbps. That depends on the type of the wireless LAN that you are using. So, may iba't iba naman pong, lalo na ngayon, may 5G na po na wireless LAN, mas mataas na po yung bandwidth niya. Okay. Then we also have for the distance up to 100 meters lang po ang twisted pair. Ma'am, nagamit po kami simula sa amin hanggang sa kapitbahay namin ng local area network gamit ang twisted pair. Possible naman po. But then, after 100 meters is magkakaroon na po talaga ng losses. So, medyo malaki na po yung losses ng inyong speed or ng inyong bandwidth paglayo ng distance. So, coaxial cable, mas malayo po siya, 500 meters, while fiber optics is up to 60 kilometers. Wireless LAN is up to 100 meters. Again, it depends on the wireless technology that you are using. Meron po kasi tayong 2.4 and 5.4. So, kung medyo mas maliit po or mas mababa ang kanyang frequency, mas malayo po yung kanyang naaabot or coverage. While pagtaas po ng frequency is wait lang ha. Paglaki din ng kanyang coverage. Sorry, it's indirectly proportional. So, pagtaas ng frequency, pagbaba po ng kanyang range or pagbaba po ng kanyang coverage. Kaya yung 5.4 or 5 gig natin is mas maliit yung coverage niya compared sa ating 2.4 na wireless. Kaya po yung up to 100, it depende pa rin po siya. Lalo na kung meron siyang mga obstacle. So, yun po yung isang disadvantage naman ng wireless LAN. For the price, least expensive po is twisted pair. Coaxial cable is inexpensive. Then fiber optic is most expensive. And wireless LAN is moderate. Most expensive in the sense din na mas expensive po yung pagkanyang pagdudugsong. It requires a special tool for splicing. Kaya po mas expensive siya. At the same time, hindi po siya basta, mention ko na kanina, hindi siya basta-basta ikinakabit. So, you have to have a training, a special tool on how to connect a fiber optic. Okay. Then we have the different devices. So, different devices for our networking. Number one is a hub or a repeater. So, a hub or repeater is a device that repeats the signal it receives as one port to all other ports. So, it is a central connection point for several network devices. So, anong pagkakaiba ni hub or ano ba ang meron si hub? Si hub po is bato lang siya ng bato. Pag meron kang ibinigay na data sa kanya, ang tendency niya is ibato lang sa lahat ng nakakonect sa kanya. Hindi na niya inaalam kung para kanino yung data or pinipinpoint kung para kanino. It's like, meron kang kaklase na chismosa. So, pumasok siya sa klase nyo at sinabi ang isang chismis. So, yun po yung hub or repeater. So, hindi niya mismo sinabi for example, may sinabi ako, or sabihin mo nga ito dito sa batang ito. Pero pagpasok niya sa klase, brinodcast na niya yung aking message. So, yun po yung hub or repeater. So, more on broadcasting lang po yung ginagawa niya. Okay. Next. Aside from that is we have this is the actual Cisco hub. Yan. So we have ito pong port na to is para doon sa source and this port are yung output naman niya. Okay. So let me also, this one. This icon is also the icon used in our packet tracer for the hub. So, yan po yung itsura ng icon ng ng hub sa packet tracer. Next is the network interface card, or more commonly known as Ethernet card. So, layman's term, this is the Ethernet card. So, kung PC nyo po or kung ang laptop nyo is may network port or RJ45 port, ito po yung laman yan. So, medyo, syempre, pag naka-laptop, mas maliit siya. So, yan po ang ating network interface card. So, we have other network interface card. So, this connects our devices to our network via our RJ45 or other LAN port. So, yan po yung ating network interface card, NIC, or Ethernet card. So, those are other terms for our network interface card. And, ito. So, we have, wait lamang po. Oh, shoot. So, ay nako, meron pala. So, unfortunately, I have to end our meeting early because we have an accreditation meeting today at 9 a.m. But for your homework, kindly review uh, ports as well as computer components, and we'll be having an activity on Thursday. Thursday nga face-to-face natin, ano? Tama ba? Sige, mga tulog pa. Carry lang yan. So, on Thursday, we'll be having our activity. We're going to identify the parts of a computer. So, since meron man tayong computer sa ating laboratory, you are going to identify the parts of the computer so that I would know or would assess kung ano naman yung alam natin sa computer. So, it is critical din po na alam natin yung parts ng computer kasi we'll be engaged in computer networking. Aside from knowing the devices itself or other networking devices. Okay? So, again, we'll end our class. And regarding naman sa attendance nyo today, sige, I think it was announced earlier talaga po na hindi magkakaroon ng online classes. So, kanina rin lang na-announce sa amin, kaninang madaling araw lang sa amin, that, no problem, Miss Cantuba. No problem, John Quincy. So, it was only at 5 a.m., around 5 a.m., na in-announce din sa amin that we have to conduct an online class. So, yon. So, anyway, so hopefully, ay nabigyan natin ng overview or nagkaroon tayo ng overview. We'll review if something is unclear to you sa na-discuss natin, kindly take note na lang. We'll try to review it again during our face-to-face meeting, but definitely we'll have an activity of parts identification, computer parts identification. So kindly review computer parts, and that's it. So again, keep safe po. Wag na po munang lumabas ng bahay kung nasa bahay, and God bless everyone.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po.
Thank you